Hello and welcome to the Value Menu Podcast. My name is Moses Andre and I'm your host today. And we got a very, very, very special guest with us today. Introduce yourself for the guest, man.
Yeah, so my name is James Chester. At the time of this recording, 21-year-old entrepreneur. Got into e-commerce, Facebook ads, email marketing, all of those things, and been able to learn from people from Support Black Colleges, World Envision, God is Dope, all of those places, and then that's where I've been able to get all this information and kind of sit in front of here today.
This guy's definitely a heavy hitter in the e-commerce space, man. Just to, I just want to edify you a little bit. Like, tell them how, just a sprinkle of how much, not how much, but how successful have you been in the past year or 2 years?
And I don't like to speak numbers, so I'm gonna just leave it at
you don't gotta speak numbers.
a couple $1,000. That's what I'm gonna say.
$2,000. You heard it. 21 making a couple $1,000 without working a 9 to 5. Now that's what we like to see. So just to get just as an icebreaker, what started your entrepreneurial journey? Like, what made you say, okay, I'm gonna not go the traditional route, but I'm gonna, take my fate into my own hands, start the entrepreneur route.
Right. So I would say, I guess my first entrepreneur, where it all started was really seventh grade, selling candy, all of those things. That was one of those kids, right? And then it got so big, I had the security guards on my side and everything. I'm bringing them stuff. They letting me sell everything that I wanted to sell, really. Candy. We're talking candy here. But, it got so big that, the principal came along and he was just like, yo, this has to end. Called me down to the office, literally had my candy in his hand and threw it all out in the garbage, right? And then that was my first time, I guess, coming across failure. I'm like, yo, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to make a couple dollars, all of those things. And that's what kind of started building resilience really in entrepreneurship. So after that didn't stop me, to be honest. I just said, okay, cool. I can't do it in school. Meet me at the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of how I carried it throughout the rest of the year. And then I started seeing things online, right? So people selling things online. This is 2014. So Facebook ads are starting to become hot and stuff like that. And I know it's weird because I'm only in middle school and I'm figuring out all of these things. But yeah, I saw somebody, you can put things up on eBay and sell it to somebody. So that's what I did. I was getting iPhone cases, iPhone accessories, putting it up on eBay, and then I would sell it. And then this is kind of how I transitioned from eBay to Shopify, which is where I'm at now. I started realizing I'll send the link out to my friends to buy the iPhone accessories, but then I realized everybody else that has iPhone accessories, they're on the same exact page. So people would be buying the iPhone accessories, but from somebody else. So I'm like, how do I keep these people on one website and then not have to buy from anybody else? How do I get all the money? And then that's when I kind of ran into Shopify. I'm just on YouTube researching all of these things. And then, that's kind of how I got started into entrepreneurship.
I like how you said the principle throwing your candy away didn't stop you from your journey of just figuring out more and how you can make an extra $1,000 while you're in middle school selling candy. Because it used to be a lot of people at my middle school for sure used to do the same thing. You just kind of have to be on the low. But at the same time, they got vending machines,
right?
Kind of doing that same thing,
exactly,
right? That same model. So it's whatever. But it's actually crazy because when I was in high school, some of the administrators used to sell candy and sell empanadas and things like that. So
that's crazy.
And they used to come at us for selling it. So it's that's kind of
it was the same exact thing. So I remember the woodshop teacher. Literally every Friday he would sell us donuts, and I'm like, yo, he's making money, why can't we?
Exactly.
Right. So, and then the vending machine people making money, why can't we? I would go to the corner store, buy all the candy that's not in the vending machine, because I knew the vending machine already had, all the big brand stuff. So I would go to the corner store, get those type of candies, and then bring it into, the school. And that's why it got so hot.
Yeah, I think it's just because we were so young, we didn't know yo, they're doing it, why can't? And we take that to the next step or whatever the case is. But that's dope, man. I wish I grew up and learned that early. just picked up on it more. And it's crazy because a lot of people, and I can speak for myself too, they do entrepreneurship activities, but don't even know, like the selling the candy.
Right.
They're just thinking of, I want 2K next month, or I want this next month. They don't know, like, you literally have a business going on. You get what I'm saying? Me, I used to, back in the day, I used to do this just for a side, like just to have an extra side of money. I didn't even know this was a business. I used to resell like clothes from like the thrift store and put them on eBay,
Right.
and then make like an extra 20 each pair. You get what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
But in my head, I'm just like, all right, I'm just doing this to get this. I'm just doing it to get that. You get what I'm saying? Or to pay my phone bill, whatever the case is. But that was literally a business model, because that's kind of what drop shippers do, or kind of the business model a lot of people have in the e-commerce space.
Right.
So, yeah, just to highlight, like, a lot of people do a lot of things and they don't know that they have a business, and it has the opportunity to be rebranded and scalable.
Right.
So that's definitely a gem for people. If you don't mind me asking, what was the hardest thing you had to overcome during your journey?
Just in entrepreneurship in general.
Yeah.
I'm happy that it kind of happened early. So I got into the sneaker reselling business, right, with a partner, and this is what made me realize, like, I don't really want partners, or if I do, I make sure that these 3 things align: character traits, skill sets, and operating with integrity. Like, all of those things have to align, and then also limited beliefs. So character traits, skill sets, and you can't have limited beliefs. So what was going on was we were reselling, right? This is like 2020, early 2020, we're reselling sneakers, and we're doing really good. Like, he has a big personal brand from Jersey, and then so do I. Even though I don't have too many followers, they're very like active and engaging.
Very engaging.
Right. So what we were doing was, when we were reselling, within a span of like 9 months, we made like $250,000, which is crazy, right? But then where it fell off was that I realized that, like, he just wasn't moving with integrity. Like, he didn't care if customers were getting their stuff, if they weren't getting their stuff, and then that's kind of how the business fell out. But what it taught me was, like, always double check the numbers, make sure that, you know, everybody's doing what they claim that they said that they're doing, and all of those things. So it's a lot of self-awareness came through that.
So, you know, it's crazy that you said that, because I feel like that goes, I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses can relate to that. They think about the sale more than they think about the customer experience or customer service, even, if you will, right? How important is that to, like, just any business? Like, making sure not only are you getting these sales, but you're fulfilling the needs of the customer, and you're making sure, you know, they're coming back. Like,
yeah. So lifetime value is super important in any business in general, right? If you, let's say we're talking ads, and you spend money in ads to acquire a customer, they buy once and then they never buy again. Like, yes, you got the sale, but imagine if that $5 that you spent to acquire that customer, it turns into $4,000 because you've been delivering and, you know, customer service and all of those things. So if you look at even Amazon, like, bought on Amazon once, I'm gonna keep going back, right? They just got that customer retention. So it's the same exact thing. You got to make sure that, you know, you're really taking care of the customers, because that's who's gonna, you know, keep the business afloat and all of those things. So yeah, I'm really big on the customer journey.
Yeah, a lot of people don't see, like, the long-term effects or the long-term benefits of just having, like, great customer service. You know what I'm saying? They're more satisfied with, okay, I just made X amount of dollars, but what about in the future? Like, you want to build customer retention. You want to, you know, keep this person coming back, because it's not about what they buy one time, it's what they buy in a lifetime.
Right. Yep.
So that's definitely a key. And I know you touched on the people you've been connected with, like, in your network, you know, support Black colleges and the other people, you know. What would you say, how important is personal development in the e-commerce space in the industry, or just entrepreneurship as a whole?
Super, super, super important, right? So like I said, if your business isn't growing, like I said, those three things that I said from before, you're missing a certain character trait, you're missing a certain skill set, or you have limited beliefs, right? So just to kind of break that down, why personal development is so important is because the business can't grow past you, right? And if it does, it's always going to come back to meet you at whatever level that you're at. So when people are hopping into the e-commerce space, right, or just any business in general, they're waiting for an influencer to post them or anything like that, right? But your foundation isn't set up and you don't even have the right mindset. So if Beyonce was to post you tomorrow, it'd probably break your business because you don't even know how to fulfill all of those things. So that means now you're missing, certain character traits. You're missing the skill sets of, fulfilling those orders. And then the character trait that you're probably missing is just being humble enough to even say, okay, I got to give this to somebody else, or I have to go to somebody to go learn this, right? So when you skip all of those, and then even the limited beliefs, because you're so small-minded that you're like, Beyonce's going to post it and that's it, now we out of here, but like not realizing the back end of what's going to happen. So yeah, that's super important, the personal development for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy because I remember in the interview, damn, you really dropped a crazy gem. Like, you can't grow past your business. Like, that's really true.
Yeah.
Like I remember Justin from Support Black Colleges, he on the interview he said that when they made $1 million in a day, they weren't prepared for it.
Yeah.
Right? So, and he was saying like, it was fulfilling issues, it was this, it was that. So maybe they weren't ready to make $1 million in a day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They didn't have like something in the foundation wasn't set correctly, or it was just, miscommunication somewhere. But these are things you always have to stay weary of and like be attentive to. Like, you have to make sure your foundation is solid. Like, nobody can break your foundation.
Exactly. If
Jay-Z posted, you would be able to fulfill all orders, right? And then that's just real because a lot of people can't even handle Black Friday.
Yeah. Like,
Black Friday is as we all know, is a huge time for all businesses. Period. You usually see a surge in sales if you structure it the right way, but like a lot of people can't even handle that. But they want to rush to push products out. They want to rush to put the sale out.
Right.
They want, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing that you kind of have to plan months in advance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, maybe even at the beginning of the year, you should be thinking about your marketing strategy.
Yes.
Right.
So like I've talked to the person that runs Travis Scott's like campaigns. Right. So I was fortunate enough to have a conversation with her. And she's like, yeah, these big companies, like literally they're already planning for 2024, like Black Friday and stuff like that. So like they're way ahead of the game.
Way ahead.
So like if you're somebody that's still planning for what am I going to do next month, like that should let you kind of know the idea of like there's a reason why you're the small fish, right? You're not thinking big enough. So yeah.
What are some ways that small businesses and new entrepreneurs could kind of prepare for the future and have like a mindset for, just thinking ahead, like
just thinking ahead. One, I would think, and the way that I do it, I kind of break down the time that I spend with people. So obviously it's about getting around people that's already done what you're trying to do. So 33% of the time, I spend it with people that are above me, right? In a way, or maybe not above me, but like been exposed to more than I have or have more experiences and things like that. So I spend about 33% of my day with them. And then I spend 33% of my day with people that are like peers. That way we bounce ideas off of each other, kind of like how we're doing right now. And then the last 33% with people that I don't want to say below me, but like haven't been exposed to as much as I have. And then I get to teach them. That way it's like I'm pulling them up also. And it kind of lets me know that, hey, I'm making progress. So just taking that framework alone, that lets you know, hey, let me start spending time with people that have done what I'm trying to do. Let me bounce ideas with people that are, we're trying to figure it out together. And then let me also reach back and help other people.
That's a gem. That's crazy. Now, sheesh. Okay. Yeah, I just want to highlight, like, just being prepared and not even that. I want to highlight just being around the correct people.
Right.
Right. How important is being in the room and, you know, surrounding yourself with people that are doing the same thing you're doing,
Right.
and just like trying to grow. You both are trying to grow at the same time. Like, how important is that?
Yeah, it's super important to be around the right people because, like one of my mentors always say, you can't be the seed, right, in the bad soil. Some of you are a good seed in bad soil. Some of you are a rose in the desert, and some of you are the rose in, you know, maybe a garden, but then there's weeds around you strangling you, literally, and it's going to kill you. So being around the right people is super important. Going to networking events, going to meet like-minded people, all of these things, right? The reason why it's so important is because it's not even about whoever's speaking at the event. It's about the people that are attending the event. So if I spent $1,000 to go to an event and you spent $1,000 to go to an event, that means there's something in your mind and something in my mind that goes, hey, the information or me meeting people is more important than keeping the $1,000 in my hand because I see way past $1,000. If you have that type of mindset, you're automatically my friend. Like literally, you're automatically my friend because it lets me know that like you know that information is more important than holding on to the dollars, all of those things. And then if you don't have that mindset, you're gonna stay like stagnant, literally. So yeah, it's super important to get in the room for sure. There's so much information being passed around, and if you think you could do everything behind the screen, you're just sitting at home, and you think it's just gonna fall in your lap. It's not. Like, it's called networking. You can't be on the net all day. You got to get out there and work.
So sometimes it's not about what you're doing. It's about who you know, what you're applying, what new things you're learning every day.
Yeah.
Right.
That's another thing too. It's not about what you know. It's about who you know. Mm-hmm. So if I go to these networking places and I go find somebody that's, you know, stronger at my weak spots, we can partner up together. And now that $1,000 that we invested turns into $10,000.
Right.
Right. So yeah, that's important too.
That's kind of sort of like Justin and Corey.
Yeah.
They kind of like fused together, became this whole conglomerate. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Maybe they needed each other. Like maybe that it was designed for them to come together, and maybe if it was just them separate, they wouldn't have scaled to 7 figures. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a gem. Yeah, like a lot of entrepreneurs kind of have to like break the shell, especially new entrepreneurs. They kind of got to get out of their own shell and like just get out there more. A lot of people like to say like networking is like they don't like to like be in people's face, but it's not about being in people's face. It's about like providing value, and you know, whenever you can, honestly, you don't even. Sometimes when I provide value, I don't expect that in return. Like you just trying to help someone else, trying to pull somebody else up any way you can.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people they don't understand that. It's just
those are when people start giving out free game and then they say, "Oh, let me stop because I'm giving out too much free game." That lets me know like you don't know enough, right? If you know a lot, then you understand that this information I'm giving you, cool, it's fine, but there's way more. But the reason why I give out information is because like if you execute on it and you come back and you with results, then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take you more serious. Right. And then another reason why I give out information for free is because ultimately my goal is to just impact and influence people. I literally want to change family trees. So like if I give you information, you go run it up and now you're able to help your mom or whoever and you can give back to the homeless and all of those things. It's like that's what makes me feel good. It's not even about the money. So
exactly. You know, and that's so huge, right? Because a lot of people don't know like a thing that drives most entrepreneurs is not the monetary value, right? The value of money. It's purpose.
Yeah.
Like, what's your purpose? Like, what's your why? Why are you doing this? Why you started a business? Is it because you wanted to just fulfill the needs of, okay, I need to pay this bill, so let me start a side hustle? Or did you have a passion for something or a purpose to start something and then you wanted to chase that, right? People that chase money, 90% of the time, they're running in a rat race.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like you have to find that purpose. You have to. And it's so, oh man.
It has to be beyond money, because like once you get the money, it's like, what now?
Exactly.
Yes, you can do what 99% of the people in the world can't do, but then you're still going to have problems that money can't fix. So what do you do from there, you know?
That's a gem. That's a gem. So I want to get into a little bit of the marketing aspect of running a business, because most people, right, they start a business and don't know they kind of have to become a marketer too.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of explain your introduction to like marketing strategies and just marketing principles, and how you use them to like scale your business and things like that.
Right. So there's 4 different ways to market, right? People, you could do paid advertising, you could do influencer marketing, you could do grassroots marketing, or you can just do organic marketing, right? So I guess my favorite, honestly, is probably like the paid marketing, and then, probably paid marketing. But then I can kind of break down all 4, right? So influencer marketing, like how we talked about with like Jay-Z, Beyonce earlier before, influencer marketing is super powerful, because if you have a product but no audience, they have the audience, no product, you come together and literally both of you benefit off of it, right? Grassroots marketing, super important, because sometimes, you know, people just want to feel the energy in person. So going to the pop-up shops, going to just getting out there in the community, right? That's probably the best way to start, especially if you're just starting off. If you want to make your first $1,000, probably go to a pop-up shop, right? And then paid marketing. Paid marketing comes in after you started a fire, kind of, and then you use paid marketing as the fuel to, you know, make a bigger fire. So I realized that most people, once they start the clothing brand or they start whatever e-commerce business, first thing they look at is Facebook ads. They throw money at it, nothing comes back, and then they're like, all right, this is a scam. And I like to challenge people on it, because I'm like, change your relationship with paid marketing, right? I want to make sure that you're using content, right? Put it out into the marketplace, get data back, and then you know how to, you know, what you should put money behind. So I guess one of the, I don't usually tell people this, but one of the strategies, right, that you could do is, let's say you're creating content and, you know, you have 10 different posts, it's the same product, 10 different types of pictures, and then you get into paid marketing. So you would boost, right, your Instagram post and put $2 behind each picture. So now let that run for 7 days, those 10 pictures, those 10 ads, running it to the same exact audience, right? And then after the 7 days, you're gonna see which one gets the most engagement, which one got the most likes, which one got the most saves, right? Once you figure that out, that means, hey, if picture 3 got 200 likes and then picture 4 got, you know, only 50 likes, you know which picture to put more money behind now.
Exactly.
So that's one of the strategies that you can do with paid marketing, just to kind of, that's entry level stuff, right? And then when we're talking about organic, organic is for people that, you know, you have more time than you have money. So most of us, I'm sure, when you start the business is because you're stressed out, you don't want a job no more, bills are tight, all of those things. And, you know, that means you have more time than money at the point. So what you could do is you get on TikTok really with your product and you act a fool on TikTok. Literally, TikTok's algorithm is ridiculous, right? So, and then people are always going to ask, oh, well, what do I post? I don't know what to post. And I tell them, go on TikTok, literally go to the search, type in whatever niche you're in, right? Filter it to the most liked in the past 3 months, and it's going to show you literally all the viral videos that's been made within the past 3 months, and copy it. Literally, they're showing you what's working in the marketplace. So copy it. And if you do that for 30, 60 days straight, there's no reason why you shouldn't have, you know, made a couple sales.
It's like a blueprint almost.
Exactly.
Right? So you literally seeing what these successful people are doing, and you're copying. Well, you're putting your own twist on it. You know, yeah. I like to call it what is it? Creative. But anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, it's curating content.
Content curation.
Yeah. And then it's also, there's nothing wrong with copying the right cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, that's a gem, man. So, and it's crazy because it's a lot of people, right? They start businesses, and they might not have a very a good grasp on basic marketing principles and strategies. So they start a business thinking that their family, their friends are going to support them, right? It doesn't pan out that way.
Yeah.
And they just lose hope. They lose the motivation they had before. That pre-motivation when you start a business, that hype, right?
Yeah.
They lose it. What do you say to those people? Because that happens a lot. I hear that a lot. Oh, my family, friends don't even support me. I'm just gonna go back to my 9 to 5. What do you say to those people?
That's part of the limited beliefs. If you can't see beyond your friends, family, or whatever state or city that you're in, you need to get out there more. You got to start realizing how big the world is. Start traveling. You don't have the money for traveling, get on YouTube, look at what other people are doing when they travel, just to see all of the things that are out there in the world. Like our parents, if you told them like, hey, go to Cali, there's this, and that, they wouldn't believe it because they didn't have YouTube to see all of those things, right? The only way that they could do it is literally traveling there. And if they didn't have the money, that's it. Like, it's just imaginary to them. But in this day and age, if you don't have the money, get on YouTube. Somebody's in Cali recording, right? You don't want to get on YouTube, that's fine. Learn it from history. Get in books. Have somebody literally paint you a picture through a book. So there's so many different ways to kind of get outside of your environment, and you definitely have to think beyond your friends, your family, and your state. Even your parents could buy whatever product from you once a day, and it still wouldn't be enough to quote unquote reach the goals that you're looking for.
That's that's a gem. And I know Neo says this a lot, right? It's kind of like introducing a big idea to a small mind.
Yeah.
You never want to do that, right? Because they can't even grasp your concept. They can't even see past the idea. They can't see it. A lot of people only like to, they're only interested in tangible things.
Right.
Right. The intangible is what we should be interested in, right? Generational wealth, right? Experiences like traveling, right? Not spending money, but like the actual experiences, like memories and things like that, like just pure happiness, right? Those are the intangibles I feel like we should be more focused on as a community. And when you're kind of like stuck in, my family and friends don't support me, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, right? Because your brand message goes way past your family and friends.
Exactly.
Right? Maybe they don't even understand the business themselves, the nature of the business, right? Like it's so many, it's millions of people out here.
Yeah. And
you're worried about 30, 40 people.
Right.
So that kind of mindset always kills me, always, right? And talking about mindset, right? Going to mindset. Let's get crazy. What's a mindset hack for you? What's something that, what's a mindset hack for you? Like, how do you practice discipline? Like, what do you do on a day to day like that? Just have that constant switch, and you're like, all right, this is my goal. I'm going for it.
Yeah. So, kind of what keeps me motivated, and I try not to use like outside forces like motivational speeches and things like that. I mean, once in a while I do need it, but it's really that why that keeps me going. So, like I said, if my goal is to impact and influence people, I have to do things, right? That obviously money's going to become a byproduct of that, but there's certain things that I know I have to do in order for me to reach back and then teach that 33% of people that I was talking about earlier. So waking up, I don't want to send out emails out today, but I have to, because now I need to show somebody else how to send out the emails. And then one part of the business that I hate is shipping, right, bro? I just hate shipping, right? But then I had to change my relationship with shipping. Instead of saying, hey, I have to go ship out these orders, so that, it retires my mom one day, right? So now it's not I'm just shipping out orders, it's I'm doing this so that it impacts my mom in the future, right? Or it impacts my parents in the future, or, I have to do these things to get to whatever goals that I'm looking for. So just kind of to break it down is like, I look at what my goals are, and then that's what helps me make my decisions day to day. So if we're talking, like, one of my goals, right, is by 35, I want to buy a $3.5 million house. I don't know where the number came from, but it just fell in my lap. And then I want a family, right? And I want them retired and all of those things. So now that I'm here today, what decisions do I have to make in order to reach that? So is school the best option? I don't know anybody that went to school that has a $3.5 million house, or anybody that's working a 9 to 5 that has a $3.5 million house, right? So that means, okay, become a business owner. So now that I became a business owner, who do I go learn from? Other business owners. All of these things are helping me make decisions day by day. What are the business owners doing? Oh, you guys are doing email marketing? Cool. That's what's going to help me get closer to my goal. Let me go do it. Let me go at least try it, and then get to the point where I understand it enough, delegate it off to somebody else, and then go learn the next thing. And then that's kind of how, compound interest happens. Like, in investing, it's called compound interest, but in business, it's called consistency. So
that's a gem. So basically, like, just reflecting on your purpose, your why, keeps you motivated. Like, just keeps you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people just got to figure out what their why is.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people that's either in business, or even, it doesn't even have to be in business. It could be in life. Like, what's your why? Why do you do what you do on a daily basis?
And it has to be bigger than money.
Exactly. It has to be bigger than money. Is it your daughter? Like, do you want to see it? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, forget the business, forget the money. What's that intangible that you hold everything over? Right. So that's good, man. And then I wanted to talk about, like, ads a little bit more.
Okay.
Right. I know you're typically, right, you're not the type of person to, run to the paid ads direction off rip, right? You like to use other methods and, go other routes to, kind of avoid using paid ads, and also get some organic traffic to your site,
Right.
And also, I want to talk about community, how important community is. So paid ads, what's your, relationship with paid ads, and then also building a community, the importance of that.
Yeah, so I was one of those people where I thought ads is going to save the business, and to be honest, it's just not. So Facebook ads. First thing I would say is, don't rely on it, right? There are certain things that have to be done before you even think about doing ads, right? So one of the most important things that's going to help you make a decision if you should even run ads is looking at your conversion rate, looking at the customer behavior that's going on, and then just listening to the marketplace, right? Us as entrepreneurs, we're so creative and we think everything's going to blow up. And when it doesn't, then we're like, all right, cool. If I throw ads on it, then it's going to blow up. But that's not the case. If the marketplace said they don't want it, they don't want it.
They don't want it.
Exactly. So understanding customer behavior, all of those things, and then, your content, what you're saying to these people, who you're putting it in front of, is your website optimized? All 4 of those things have to be done at a high level before you even think about ads, right? So I guess now getting into those ads, let's say those 4 things are being done at a high level. You have the best picture ever, or you have a video that's blowing up on TikTok, right? Now that you know that, hey, the marketplace likes this, and then you know that you're saying the right things, right? We're going to get into community, but like saying the right things to your community, and then you know that you're putting in front of the right person, obviously, because they're engaging, and now your website is fully optimized. And by optimized, I mean your website has to be very easy to navigate through, and it has to be appealing. It's called UX and UI, user experience and user interface. Those 2 things have to be done very well. If we think about Amazon, right? Amazon, you get on Amazon, you find your product, and it literally takes you 3 clicks and you're at checkout. That's what I mean by website optimization. So if you have all 4 of those things in line, then you get into the ads. You're like, cool, I have something that's working organically. Let's throw the ads on top of it because we know what's working, put some dollars behind it, and then that's when the growth happens.
Okay, so basically you don't really recommend using paid ads until they have everything together. Like, get everything together first, right? Have these tools in place, right? Kind of like fine tune your website, your landing page and things like that, and then get into paid ads.
Exactly. Because if not, bro, you're just going to be spinning your wheels, honestly. So, and it hurts, right? imagine you have to spend $1,000 before you realize, hey, my website sucks. When you could have started that from the jump.
From the jump.
Exactly. You could have put, you know, apps like Lucky Orange or Hotjar, and what those apps do is basically anybody that comes onto your website, it screen records what they're doing, and then you see where they jump off of. So if you have simple stuff like that, recording the site, and then you realize, hey, everybody's jumping off right here, then you know, cool, I have to change something about this, or I have to add more to my product description, or I need a better picture, all of these things. Imagine doing that first before you even spend $1,000 on ads.
Exactly. Saved $1,000. You basically dropped in ads.
Exactly.
And also to add on to that, I know a lot relies on your creative and your copy. You can have the perfect product, like the best product, the trendiest product out there, right? But if these 3 things don't align, it's kind of like right?
Yeah.
Talk about that too. Like, what's the importance of having these 3 things aligned before you even think about? Let's say you have the four tools, right? Aligned, SEO and all that stuff aligned for you. You have the most optimized website, but you don't have these 3 things. It's like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and when we talk about these 3 things, first, the 3 things that we're talking about is the creative, which is the picture that you show, the copy, which is what you're saying, and then the 3rd thing would be the audience that you put it in front of. So could you imagine that, you know, you found this product, best product in the world, you have a great picture, you're saying the right things, but then you put it in front of the wrong person. That hurts because there's no sell, and then it kind of brings you down, you know. You're like, dang, what's wrong with this thing? It's like, no, you just put it in front of the wrong person. So how do you find the right person? And that would be knowing who your customer avatar is. Like, you should be able to walk down the street and be like, yeah, that's one of my customers.
Right.
If you're aiming for, let's say, streetwear brand, right? 17 to maybe 34. I don't know if after 34 you should still be looking into streetwear. That's your own thing, right? But 17 to 34, I'm pretty sure they like Chick-fil-A, they like Dunks, they like Jordans, they like all of these things. Maybe they're part of HBCU community. If all of these things, whoever your customer avatar is, you should know them so well that when they walk down the street, you know exactly who it is. And then now you know, let me put the product in front of you.
Exactly.
Right? So.
Oh man, that's a gem. A lot of people don't know who their audience is. A lot of people don't know who their perfect. I tell a lot of people, like, know your perfect customer. Know who your perfect customer is. What are some attributes that your perfect customer does? What do they eat? What do they wear? What do they do on a day to day? What kind of jobs do they tend to have? What are some things that describe your perfect customer, right? You know, for people who sell, like, let's say, diapers or pregnancy things, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say pregnancy things. They know their audience is pregnant women.
Right.
Are you gonna show these products to men?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So that's a huge gem, because you gotta really know who you're marketing to. Yeah. And you won't know that unless you know your business.
Exactly.
Right?
And then the way that you talk to them also. So if you know, like you said, the pregnant women, you wouldn't start off the sentence with, hey guys.
Exactly.
That immediately throw them off, like, hey, I'm not a guy, you know? So like, hey girl, this and that, I know you're feeling down, all of those things, whatever you have to say. And if you need help with copy, you can go to copy.ai, right? Or you can go to anywhere.com. Literally, you can go in there, type in whatever customer you're looking for, and kind of like the words that you're looking to tell them, and then how salesy you want it to be. You can put like a scale of how salesy it could be, and they'll literally give you the copy.
Literally.
And then you put that in front of them, and it generates sales, you know?
That's a gem too. I know a lot of people kind of, and it's so important because people don't know how important copy is. Right. Like, people put, shop now. That's not like, that doesn't get me to click this.
Exactly. And then even in the clothing space, like, I see most people, they'll put, hey, my hoodie is 50% cotton, 50% polyester. I'm like, nobody really cares, right?
Nobody cares about that.
So the copy is super important. Now, what if I came to you and I said, hey, the hoodie is 50% cotton, 50% polyester. It's nice, it's sleek, it's comfortable. You can wear it in the airport. You won't feel any wind coming through it. All of those things. Now you're more like, okay, cool. This might be worth the investment.
Right.
Yeah,
Like what makes it different from another hoodie?
Exactly.
And even if I like to save those type of details for the product description, I like to draw. I mean, you can obviously put that in the caption or whatever the case is, but I like to save those types of description for the product description.
Right.
I like to lead them in with like, oh, this is made with this fabric, or you know, it's weighted this, you know, like
all the benefits. Yeah,
all the benefits. So
exactly.
This is pre-shrunk, so it doesn't shrink, or things that people have like I identify the problems that people are having in the clothing brand space, right? Oh, this hoodie shrinks, this stains,
Right.
And then I say, all right, it does this X, Y, and Z. Boom. Okay, now I know the people that had these problems. I'm gonna target these people.
Exactly.
And then boom.
Yep. And then sales happen. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just it's. I feel like knowing, like, it's easy to say, I want to start a clothing brand.
Yeah.
Right. It's easy to say it because they see other people do it. It's kind of a hot thing to do right now. It's kind of like I don't even want to say it like this, but it's kind of like the cliche idea of entrepreneurship right now.
Right.
Like people grasp this concept the most. It's like, oh, I'm gonna just sell shirts. I'm gonna just sell sweats. I'm gonna just do this, right? And they don't know anything about the e-commerce space.
I think it just comes with just the era that we grew up in, right? We're seeing Jay-Z and, you know, Jim Jones and all these fashion gurus. Kanye, I feel like Kanye really made it possible for all of us to know that we could do anything. So like we've been influenced by that. That's why everybody's like, oh, they could do it, I could do it too. That's kind of how it sparks until it hit the e-commerce side.
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, and then even the creative, because I know we talked about the audience, the copy, but the creative is super important too. The way that you present your stuff to people. Like, bruh, I done seen some people like just throw it on the floor, wrinkles, all these things, and then I'm like, dang, my product look like it's about to come out the living room with cat hair and stuff on it, right?
Exactly.
I'm like, bro, I don't want that. So like the way you present it is like, it's super important. If you don't have, you know, the budget to go do a photo shoot, like that's perfectly fine. You remember those like trifold science project thingies that we had to do?
Yeah, the trifold.
put your shirt on that, right? Like iron it out and then take your picture right there, and then you can use apps like remove.bg, right? Removes the background and then puts a white background, or Photo Room, that's my favorite. You can use Photo Room, removes the background, all of those things. Now it looks like a lot more clean. And then if you do have a budget for, I guess, photo shoots and stuff, you can go to snapper.com, snappr.com, and then it's literally a photographer that will come to wherever you're at and then do the photo shoot for you. Or you can go to suna.co, and that's a virtual shoot. You ship them out the clothes, they have models, whatever you need, and then you get on a Zoom call with them, and then they're doing the photo shoot live while you're in one state and then they're in the other state. And then now you have professional pictures. So
wow, yo, that's $1 million worth of game right there. I'm not even sure if y'all. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I feel like people just need these type of, you know, this type of information. Just especially if you're looking to start a e-commerce store or online store. It's different from going out and, you know, selling it in person, right? Because you gotta kind of abide by internet rules and how. Oh, and my next question was, right, how important is like knowing consumer behavior too? Because like you kind of gotta, that kind of plays a role in internet selling on the internet space, right? You gotta know how consumers behave when presented certain items, right? So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, customer behavior plays a huge role. So the reason why I'm, I guess, quote unquote, so successful in the space is because I really care about the customers. And then I also study the data that the customers are doing on the site. So I use applications like we talked about before, Lucky Orange, Hotjar, and then even Klaviyo. So as soon as a customer comes onto the site, enters their email, all of these things, and we can get into pixels and all of that later if we have to, but it tracks literally what people are doing. So imagine, let's just talk about the real world real quick before we go to online. Imagine you walk into a store, you're just walking around, and then somebody puts a piece of code on your back and you didn't know, and then you walk out, and now when you look right at the billboard, then you see the store that you just walked into, and then you look right, and then you keep, like, throughout the whole entire day, you keep seeing all these things, and that's because they put a piece of code on you. So it's the same thing with e-commerce. You come onto the site, there's pixels tracking you, your emails being tracked, your phone numbers being tracked, all of these things, and you can't say, oh, well, I didn't want to give them that information. Well, you agreed to it with the terms and service that you didn't read, so that's why we're able to have all that information, right? But we use all of that information to figure out the customer behavior. So if I see you keep coming to the site and you keep looking at blue shorts, it's not by God that you get an email 20% off the blue shorts 2 days later.
Literally.
You feel me? So yeah, that's really all it is. So that's why it's so important to understand customer behavior. And it's the same thing, like all these companies are doing it. Like people will be on Credit Karma and be like, oh my God, I've been pre-approved for this and that. Bro, they're setting you up.
Setting you up.
They know what you're doing. Like, and then you get the mail come to your house. Oh, you've been pre-approved for this and all this and that. And they're like, oh my God, God's answering my prayers. I needed this money. I'm like, nah.
And people wonder why they are frequent buyers of Amazon. And Amazon says, oh, you could get $75 off your order if you get our Amazon store card.
Exactly.
That's not a coincidence. They know you buy on here a lot.
Exactly.
And why not get some form of cash back for using something you already buy? It's not just random.
It's psychology and it's customer
psychology.
behavior.
Exactly. So you gotta kind of know about, psychology of consumers and things of that nature to also, be successful in business. And oh man, so much game, bro. So it's giving a little too much, but we're gonna give them some more. One question that you could kind of answer is, if I'm an individual and I want to get started in the e-commerce space, what should be my first steps?
Yeah, so when I get this question, most people are expecting me to say, get a manufacturer, this and that, da-da-da-da-da-da. If you're getting started in the e-commerce space, the first place that my mind goes to is education. So, and when I talk about education, I'm talking about self-awareness. I understand that education is literally the passport to your future. So when I talk about self-awareness in the education space, it's understanding what type of person you are, how much stress are you willing to take on, what type of business model you're looking for, so that you understand that you're going to be building a business around your lifestyle and not a lifestyle around your business. So the reason why I say this is because when most people are starting out a business, right, they're looking on Instagram and TikTok and all of these things, and they're seeing like, hey, this person's posting all these orders and, packages, and they're going to the UPS store. I want to do that too, until you realize, like, because you didn't have the self-education on yourself, that's not for you. You don't want to do that. And me personally, I ran into that too. I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to deal with manufacturers, all of these things. So now I have to switch my business model, and then that basically like bottlenecks your business, right? So you're basically starting all over. So my mind immediately goes to self-education, understand what levels you're willing to take on, because being a CEO, you're going to be putting out fires every single day, no matter what business level you're at. So understand, am I good at marketing? If I'm good at marketing, but I hate fulfilling, give it to somebody that's good at fulfilling. So now instead of, you're operating at 100%, now you'll be operating at 100% in marketing. They're operating at 100% in fulfillment, and then 100 times 100,000, right? So, yeah.
Oh man, but people are unwilling to self-educate. That's not a lot. That's not a habit that's in our communities a lot, especially like the urban and black communities. It's not like a habit. People like you tell people to you talk to a high school student, right, and tell them to go home and read a book. 95% of the time, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right?
What's that quote? It was like, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Crazy.
Which is it's sad, but it's kind of true, right? And I feel like we got to kind of get past that barrier of books are boring, education is boring,
Right.
and kind of like be more productive and progressive.
Yeah. And that comes with the self-awareness too. If you know that you don't want to sit there and read books, I saw people reading books and I was like, all right, cool. The information is there. And then I would sit there and read books. That's not me, right? My whole entire school, I guess, lifetime, bro, I hated reading. So why would I go do that? So then now it comes to be self-aware, track back. What else can I do besides sitting here and reading black and white, right? So then that's when I came across audiobooks. Oh, this works a lot better. I don't mind listening, right? And then that's how I get the information. Plus, it's a lot better because when I put it on 2 times so I put the speed on 2 times. That way it's going faster and I'm listening even closer. And then that's kind of how I receive my information.
Yeah, audiobooks is definitely dope. I think that got me the information as well. Like I started going into audiobooks. I mean, it's better for me. Just ride a car, listen. You feel me? And you don't really gotta strain your eyes and look at a book all day. So.
Right.
Few more questions that I have are, what's something you wish you knew before you got started?
Sheesh. I think it'd be leveraging OPM. Understanding that you don't necessarily have to use the money that's in your pocket to fund these businesses, right? And that goes into credit and all of those things. And I understand that, with our community, we don't understand credit and we don't know nothing about credit until after we mess up our credit. So if I understood that earlier, I'd probably be, I don't even know how far, but understand that, get your personal credit right and you can get into business credit, and they will literally, these banks will give you money, like $50,000 credit cards, like all of these things. Could you imagine if you started your business with $50,000 instead of the $500 that you saved from the 9 to 5?
Right.
Like there'd be a huge difference, right?
Be 10x.
Especially if you have the right information that we're talking about with the self-awareness and understanding ads and all of these things, like be so much farther. So yeah, I wish I knew that earlier.
And that's a practice that we were never taught, right? Especially as a community, right? So oh man, OPM could get us so far in business only if people know how powerful OPM is. All right, to kind of wrap up, just like 2 more questions I have for you. One is, what is your goal in 5 to 10 years? And actually, just answer that for right now. What's your goal to 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years. I plan on owning multiple businesses and probably being one of the biggest people in the e-commerce space, honestly. Like I said, my goal is to impact and influence people. So that's one of my goals, and I plan on building, kind of like an academy around that where you can, that one student that's in high school or in middle school, they don't have to, necessarily go the traditional route, and they don't know what they want to do. Same way I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then have that available for them. Like learn entrepreneurship the right way and not by, college professors that's never had a business before. So, that's one of my goals. And then another goal is retire my parents, right? And then also just buy a huge house, start a family, all of those things. But yeah.
For sure.
And when I say, and it's crazy because one of the things that I'm starting to learn now is shortening the time gap. So when we talk about 5-10 years, now my goal is to, instead of waiting 5 to 10 years for that to happen, let's try and see how we can make it happen next year.
Right.
Yeah. So having an idea, shortening the time gap between the idea and, execution and monetizing it.
For
all
sure.
of those things.
For sure. Yeah, that's major, man. And I feel like you on the way to all of that, man. Definitely about to be one of the biggest in the e-commerce space for sure. Just by the way you impact people and, just give value at no cost. Like you just be giving the game away. And it's crazy, bro. Can you leave the audience with one last gem? One gem that could possibly, 10x their business.
And like I said, your business will never grow past you. So it would definitely be a gem that hits you hard, and it'd be, you know, I'd say when you build your environment the right way, certain people won't fit. That's what it is. You need to start putting yourself in the right environments, getting around the right people, getting the right information. And along with that, friends are going to fall off completely fine. Like, when they figure out what's really going on, they're going to try and join too. So, and I learned that from Steve Harvey. So at InvestFest, I had the opportunity to talk to him, and that's what he said. He literally said, bro, you're starting a tornado. Don't stop it for nobody. If people come along and they spin off, let them. You know? Let them spin off and keep going. And then eventually they're going to look up and be like, yo, he's gotten so big. I want to do that too. And you, as the person, don't look at them and be like, oh, I told you so, or this and that. Like, have enough grace and empathy to understand that they just didn't know. They didn't have the information that you had. So go back, like I said, reach back and help those people, pull them up. So yeah, that's it.
For sure. Yo, so much game was given, man. Oh my God. Even I learned a few things. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely, this definitely gonna be one of the biggest interviews, for sure. Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in to the Value Menu podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us to, attract more people like yourself, like-minded people like yourself. And again, follow my guy James Chester. What's your Instagram for the people?
James Chester 10, and then you could DM me and just let me know that you came from this podcast, and I don't mind providing you with a free Facebook ads course. So just DM me. I'm still building the wait list and stuff like that, but just DM me and I'll give you the first Facebook ads course that I bought. It was like a couple $100, but I don't mind giving it out.
Yeah, y'all better DM that, man. So yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get it.